All right. Hi there, this is Josh Duncan. Today I got a special guest. I have Jose Briones. Jose and I have met previously at Product Camp Austin 6 here in January this month. I missed him and he gave a great presentation on Voice the Customer. So I was hoping to talk a little bit about that today. So Jose, could you, how about we start with an introduction?
Well, Josh, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity. Sorry you missed the presentation. But my specialty is the product development and also company turnarounds and productivity improvements. Today, I am the general manager of CSI Calendaring, which is a rubber components company. And also, I'm helping a couple of startups. One of them is an iPhone app startup. Another one is a software company for business process management.
You know what, that's probably a great subject for a follow-on call here, because I swear I see you online and you have your hands in lots of different things. So it's definitely, we need to get people following you on Twitter because you got a lot of stuff going on. So let's talk about Voice the Customer. So with your presentation, what first grabbed me about it was how you kind of set the stage, how this is a challenge at most companies and how it's kind of, there's misconceptions around what it really means. Could you talk a little bit about, what are you seeing with Voice the Customer, where so many companies go wrong when they start their process?
Well, Josh, the problem that I saw, and I've sort of lived through it over the years in different jobs, different companies, is that you're getting a lot of mixed signals. You go to a seminar, you read a book, and somebody may tell you, well, you do need to talk to your customers. No, you don't need to talk to your customers, or you need to talk to your customers' customers. Oh boy, no, you need to be very specific. No, you have to be more broader question, open-ended question. Very confusing. So the end result is that everybody's out there talking to their customers and saying, oh, well, I did the voice of the customer, I'm done. And that's a big problem right now. A big problem because depending on what you do and what you ask your customer, really determines the answer that you're going to get.
All right. So you talked about a new approach in this presentation. So where did this idea come from?
It really started from a project where we got assigned in which we had to enter a new market and we had little to no information. So we started developing our voice of the customer, and by the time we got to 200, 300 questions, we realized, well, this is impossible.
Yeah.
We simply cannot do this. We cannot, unfortunately, we don't have access to Guantanamo's facilities to bring our customers there and interrogate them for 48 hours straight. So how are we going to do this? We need to split the questions. That's really where the concept started. We need to divide the questions into areas of exploration or the areas that where we need information. So once we did that, we defined the specific objectives of each area of exploration, and we assigned the levels of depth we wanted to get into each area. Once we had that, it became very simple to associate each area of exploration with the different levels of types of innovation out there, disruptive, incremental, or radical, in the sense of how much in depth you wanted to go in the level of questions you were asking to the customer. That's how the whole process started. It was really serendipitous from the standpoint that we came to the realization we simply could not get all the information from a customer at one time, or from any customer, from anybody.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I noticed, and I really liked about the process you're proposing here, was the iterative nature of it, depending on, I guess, the depth of answers you were looking for, right?
That is correct. Purely and simple, in a simple terms, when you are looking to get or just to do an incremental innovation, and you have little time, you need to have a product out there in the marketplace very quickly. You have to be very focused, very narrow. You go straight for product features, but you already should have a lot of information both about your products and your customers. So you're going to go incremental. You design the survey or the questions around that. But that's not what you're looking for. If you're going for disruptive innovation, you're going for blue ocean or completely new areas, new market, new product. You can't do that. You have to take different approaches. You have to take some approaches that are sometimes called, you have to investigate the unmet needs, or you have to do the job to be done approach. These differ from the standpoint that an unmet need is more observational. Sometimes your customer cannot provide you with enough information as to what they need. You need to sometimes observe and then make a recommendation as to what the solution is. In a job to be done, the customer already has a fair idea what the job they need to do. They just don't have a solution. And then again, the idea is not that you come up with one of your products as a recommendation, but just investigate the job first, understand the job, then go back into your company, and then try to decide if you can define a product that meets that can do the job, or if altogether it's not the right opportunity for you.
Yeah, I like that approach a lot, and I think if you follow product management and you follow some of the debates, it's almost like clockwork. At least once a month or every other month, you see the debate come up again, kind of in the online circles of hey, Apple doesn't do product voice of the customer stuff. Why should we do it? And hey, if I wanted to ask the customer what they need, again, the Henry Ford type quote, that it just seems to come up over and over again. And I do think that's a challenge, right? I mean, a lot of companies believe that if you're doing something innovative, well, the customer's never seen it before, so therefore they can't tell you what they want.
That is essentially correct, although it's a very good example, the Henry Ford question. This is the answer I always give. Yes, if Henry Ford had asked their customers what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Yes, but there is a need for faster horses too. There is opportunity out there for faster horses. So what it boils down to, that captures in essence the system. Yes, you do go to Henry Ford. If he had wanted to bring faster horses, he would have gone to his customers and asked them specifically what they needed on a faster horse. But since he wanted to bring something else to the market, something very different to the market, then his customers were not the right persons to talk to.
Right.
That encapsulates the whole system. So it's not that you should never go talk to your customers. In fact, even if you start designing something completely in the new market space, and perhaps talking down the value chain to your customers, still eventually you'll have to come down and talk to your customers at some point. And this goes back to the iteration approach. So no, I agree with Henry Ford, but in a sense, that just says that it is sometimes necessary to still talk to your customers if you want to do incremental innovation. There is a need for faster horses.
That's awesome. All right, Jose, for those that are want to learn more, where should they look to see more on this presentation, more on the VOC approach?
Yes, I have a website, a personal website. It's www.brioneja, which I keep most of my presentations. This Voice of the Customer presentation forms part of a much larger framework that I'm creating for product development, which I call the spiral level approach, or spiral approach to product development. And again, it deals with iteration, but the key to each iteration is as not just for Voice of the Customer, but for financial analysis or any other type of segment of the product management process. You have to use different tools appropriate to the level of depth of investigation of the market development. So if you go there, you can look at the framework overall, or you can look at specific presentations on financial analysis, Voice of the Customer, value and use analysis, and I have a few others as well.
Jose, that is awesome. Really appreciate you taking your time to speak with us, and not only here at Product Camp and other events where you're sharing your knowledge. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Josh.
All right, we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks.